A sad, unfortunate tale of a man who lost his lover in a brutal killing or a complete pack of lies. These were the two alternate theories presented to the jury in Malcolm Rewa's third murder trial. The serial rapist is accused of murdering Susan Burdett, found raped and bludgeoned in her Papatoetoe home in 1992. Today, both the prosecution and defence closed their cases. Our court reporter Annika Smith filed this report.
The attack on Susan Burdett had all the hallmarks of a typical Rewa sexual assault.
Crown Prosecutor Gareth Case began his closing address by telling the jury they could be sure Malcolm Rewa was guilty of murder. The 65-year-old has already been convicted of raping Ms Burdett, but juries in two separate trials couldn't decide if he murdered her. Mr Case said the similarities between Ms Burdett's killing and sex attacks that were carried out on other women were inescapable.
The Crown says that when you look at those 20 other victims, you can see that the accused has a very distinctive way of sexually assaulting women. Susan Burdett was attacked in that very same distinctive way.
The prosecutor reminded the jury Rewa's semen had been found inside Ms Burdett's body. Rewa has always maintained the pair were having a secret affair and had consensual sex the night she died. But Mr Case said Rewa had lied.
I suggest to you there was no secret relationship between the accused and Susan Burdett. It's a fiction created to try and explain away the semen found in her body. I suggest the accused version just doesn't have the ring of truth about it.
He told the jury Rewa had threatened to kill other women he raped and used violence to control them.
So I suggest to you the accused is prepared to use significant violence to compel submission. We won't know what happened that night. Only the accused is alive to tell us.
Mr Case said evidence given by Ms Burdett's friend Winsome Anstey was well-meaning but unreliable. Yesterday, Mrs Anstey told the jury Ms Burdett confided in her about having an affair with a man called Mike. Malcolm Rewa also goes by Michael Lewis. Mrs Anstey said her friend told her the man was a Māori gang member and she partied on a yacht with him in the Auckland harbour. Mr Case questioned why it had taken her so long to come forward with details that were inconsistent even with the defendant's evidence.
Mrs Anstey claimed that memories come and memories go, and I suggest to you that reliable memories don't behave that way.
Rewa's defence lawyer Paul Chambers said her evidence was credible despite her suffering burnout at work and possible PTSD. He told the jury he had been diagnosed with PTSD 5 years ago and experienced suppressed memories. He said when memories did resurface, they were clear and accurate, as if frozen in time. Last week, Mr Chambers pointed the finger at Ms Burdett's son Dallas Mackay as her killer. Mr Mackay was adopted at a young age and only met his mother 2 years before she was killed. Mr Chambers said the amendment of her will, which meant Mr Mackay was in line to receive $250,000, gave him motive to murder.
Motive, opportunity and the means to commit the crime have not disappeared over time, yet he has simply been ignored in favour of the convicted rapist, Mr Rewa.
Malcolm Rewa took the stand on Tuesday and told the court Susan Burdett was a friend. He said while he could never forgive himself for hurting women, he didn't rape or murder Ms Burdett. Justice Benning will sum up the case tomorrow morning before the jury retires to deliberate. Atu iti ko te mātua ko Annika Smith aho.